Hello everybody, welcome back to another DOS episode. Yeah, it's July of 2022 and only now making a video on, Game of Play 2021. And if you know anything about the United States in early July, is that we like to blow our load way too early. And yes, I did say that on purpose. So anyway, time to games I played 2021. So I'm gonna say it right now. So a lot of these games here either don't like that much, or it's kind of aight. So I'm gonna say only like the top 3 games I actually do like. The rest of them are either okay or stuff that I didn't really like all that much. Heck, there's a couple here I didn't finish. I'll get there when we get there. But before we do, let's go start with an honorable mention. So Pikmin Bloom was a thing, and I remember when it just became announced, the first thing I do is tweet out gifs of people panicking. Yeah, that's how much I was afraid of this going absolutely, not the way I would like. And well, I'm gonna say right now the game is absolutely freaking boring. Well, especially the beginning of the game, before you get to expeditions, the game is absolutely boring. And once you get to expeditions, you think, oh, finally, the game started picking up. Although it really doesn't make that much of a difference. The thing about Pikmin Bloom is that it's not really a game, and it's not really designed to be a game. It's meant to be like some sort of an exercise app more than anything, like a walking tracker more than a game. Because there's really not much of a game in there. But there's Pikmin in it, and you know me. I still have not played Hey Pikmin. So anyway, let's just go move on. Number 7, Shining Pearl. Ugh. I should have known right off the bat that I'm not gonna like this. And here's the reason why I'm not gonna like this. Okay, this is gonna take a controversial take, but I've kind of said it several times on Reddit, but I'm gonna say it here. I do not like Diamond and Pearl. I really didn't. Gen 4 would have been my least favorite generation if Heart Gold Soul Silver didn't exist. This is how much I don't like DP. Okay, I absolutely hate DP, and even my bro agrees. Cause when me and bro were younger, we used to playing Pokemon and we playing new Pokemon releases. But when it got to DP, bro was just so he did not like Diamond so much that even after playing Soul Silver, he decided to back out of Pokemon Push for good. Until just a couple of years ago during the pandemic, we decided, I probably want to play Black. So, DP kind of killed my brother's interest in Pokemon, and it kind of almost did mine too. But it's something I don't like. Now, what does that have to do with Shining Pearl? Well, it's because the whole, it's a faithful remake. Well, it's not really a faithful remake. There's still some things in there that made it better. Obviously, the speed's actually tolerable. There's some fire types in the game. Fairies exist, even though it didn't really matter all that much because the only character you actually need to worry about, Fairy already has, answers to Fairy, even if Fairy exists in Gen 4. And, the underground section is arguably better. At least it has some interesting Pokemon, and you can have most of the games in national decks, so the Gen 4 national decks, meaning that it's possible for you to skip some games you want to complete a living decks, although that only really applies to Sun Current and absolutely nothing else. That again, it gets Sun Current to Friends Safari, but if you don't have any friends, okay, get the idea. Shining Pearl, it's not good. It's not a good Pokemon game, and I'm surprised how universally agreed upon is that BDSP sucks. And the thing is, the reason I don't like BDSP is I just don't like DP. But the reason why people don't like BDSP is because of the happiness affection merge that happened in Sword and Shield, in which the Pokemon's happiness also does the affection mechanics as seen in Pokemon and Me and Refresh. So, meaning that the game is it's obviously significantly easier than it really should be. It could have been a hard game, yes, but because of that affection merge, it's just not as great. So it's not as, faithful remake, quote unquote. But yeah, that's not why I didn't like this game. I just don't like the Sinnoh region. Period. I just don't like Sinnoh at all. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't like the region of Sinnoh. I think it's just bad. Okay. That being said, because it is a game I played in 2021, it deserves the bottom slot on this list. So, gotta have to mention it somehow. Number 6. This is the game I have not finished. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it. Disgaea 5 Complete. And part of the reason why I'm not bothering to finish it is because it's a Steam game. I just typically don't play Steam games in general. Although there is a game on Steam I did beat, but we'll get there. But it's just like, I feel like the way I played Disgaea 5 kind of makes me lose interest in it. So, unlike every other game, like because I played Disgaea 5 Complete, as is complete, on Steam, all I do is use every main side character. I don't use any generic classes, if you know what I mean. It's like because the game has like generic classes you can go to, but I decided not to in this case. I only use like the DLC characters and of course the main characters. That's it. And I think that that causes my enjoyment of the game to worsen just a little bit. I don't know how it does, but it just does. Granted, I still destroy the Valvatorez, but how is Valvatorez not the main character of D5? I think it's called Killia, I think. I think the character Killia is alright, but the thing is, I just feel like he's just another generic Disgaea character. I just got out of, Disgaea 4, and then, Valvatorez is pretty cool. But, like, even Disgaea 1, like the Harl is pretty, like, kind of a meme-worthy character. But, like, and Disgaea 2, the Dell, I mean, like, granted, he's kind of generic anime, anime protagonist, being this, like, kind of fearless, anime protagonist. You know what I'm talking about, those kind of antagonists. But, like, Killia just kind of a boring one. And, of course, some of the characters actually more interesting, but not that much. I want to finish Disgaea 5. I want to finish Disgaea 5. However, there's a little point in there, it's a little hard to get to. Like, there's one section where you have to be like everyone against one enemy, and that one enemy is pretty dang strong. And granted, at least a good indicator of how strong the other enemy is, if it's really hard to beat in one game. However, that's causing my enjoyment of the game to worsen significantly. And after a beat that, somehow after so many tries, the game doesn't become easier. So I want to finish this game, but I'm just not interested in doing so. Really doesn't help the fact that I'm shiny hunting. So, and we'll get to some of the parts why shiny hunting might be a big problem. But right now, just so you know, the game is not bad. It's just there's some parts of it I just don't like compared to other Disgaea games. Next. Number 5, I finally understand why Spoony doesn't like Final Fantasy X. I finally get it. Because the thing is, I always viewed Final Fantasy X like this really, a near-perfect Final Fantasy experience, especially for someone coming from the old games. It just, it feels like, a really solid game to play. Until I actually played it. Granted, up to the point where I find the Final Fantasy X pretty cool. It feels like exactly what I thought it would be. Until I get to that Seymour fight, Mount Gagaset, where I just stopped playing because I ain't touching that guy. Because I keep losing this guy so hard, and I really don't want to look at a guide. I really don't. But it feels like I have to look at the guide to figure out what the heck is he doing? Because why does he keep one-hit killing all of my Aeons? Why is he completely destroying me no matter how hard I level? I'm sure that there's some sort of strategy to use against it, some sort of intended method for you to beat him. But I just don't do it because I really don't want to look it up, and he's just way too strong for me. And since then, I pretty much stopped playing Final Fantasy X altogether. But that's mainly because there are other Switch games I wanted to play. So it just kind of, Final Fantasy X is kind of going down went down and down on priority, kind of like Monster Hunter. I personally have not played Monster Hunter Rise since the day I got it. And I think there's another game too. Oh yeah, Kirby, but we'll get to Kirby next year. So I don't even know if I'm going to play it next year on 2022. I'm pretty sure I will. I'm going to stream it. But anyway, point is that FF10 kind of sucks from the point where I am. And then I finally get why Spoony doesn't like it. Because I remember seeing the Spoony One's videos of Final Fantasy X like forever ago. And he was all like hating on Final Fantasy X and kind of liking Final Fantasy X too. I want to play 10 too, but I want to beat 10 first. So I feel like that beating 10 kind of provides some context for starting 10 too. But yeah, I started to get why I doesn't like Final Fantasy 10. Maybe once I finally start playing 10 too, maybe I'll actually like it. You know, despite people initially keep hearing a long time ago how it's not as good as FF10. I don't know. I want to find out, but I want to be FF10 first. But I can't be FF10 if that freaking Seymour fight it's a giant roadblock. So, and I'm still in the middle of playing other games right now. I'm still playing Triangle Strategy, still need to beat that game. After that, I'm just going straight to Kirby, and who knows like what game I'm gonna play next after Kirby between Kirby and Pokemon Violet. Monster Hunter? Maybe, maybe not. Finish Fire Emblem 1? I don't know. Finish Shiny Hunting? No. But point is, like, FF10. It's not, it's cool up to the point where I am now. Next. Number 4. Okay, so the reason why that's here is because sometime after I beat Neo 12, Nintendo of America said, hey, you can play this for a good few days for free for Nintendo Online, members. And I'm like, oh, heck yes, I'm going in there immediately. And so I did. And I beat it as fast as possible so I can have enough time to play before the trial ends. And so I finally managed to beat the A New Day segment in Neo 12, and then to kind of get me some context for some parts of Neo 12, and I feel like something just kind of makes sense now. Because there's going to be a point in Neo 12 which references 12 Final Remix that I did not know about when I streamed, because I just didn't play before. I didn't play that before this. This being Neo 12. And so after I beat it, then the whole Switch Online thing with 12 Final Remix. Okay, so I'm going to say this right now, 12 Final Remix, okay? If you want to play 12, play the DS version, not the Final Remix, none of the other, portable versions. Because, I don't know about you, but, playing it on the original DS, or 3DS if you choose to, just feels like it has a better control scheme than only using the touchscreen. I mean, granted, Twilight does only use the touchscreen, but it doesn't always use the touchscreen. It does use the buttons to some extent, but because the Twilight Final Remix is based on the phone and tablet versions of a Twilight, which only uses the touchscreen and nothing else, it just kind of feels wrong. Granted, the graphics are way better, obviously. I mean, DS to mobile and then to Switch on HD, yeah, obviously it's going to be pretty high quality, not gonna lie, pretty nice. I did use it for counterattack, but the game itself, I just feel like it just fits better on the DS. It's just because the game is made for the DS. At least I'm glad that Square tried to make it work on a mobile device. Cool, and it worked well on the Switch. Cool, but why the heck is Twilight Final Remix doesn't use buttons? Or because it should have used the buttons, but it doesn't use buttons. It's just made for mobile, and since that for them Switch too. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Okay, I'm just saying it doesn't feel right. Coming from 100% 12 MDS, Twilight Final Remix just doesn't feel right. You get what I'm saying? Okay, next. Disgaea 4 Complete Plus. We're finally going to a game I liked, and I finally beat, and I actually liked. Okay, so yeah, Disgaea 4 is the one game that made me want to continue going on Steam and playing games on Steam, because that game is actually pretty good. I really do like the characters there, pretty nice. like the character interactions are really good. I do like, you know, some of the, you know, generic classes pretty cool too. The story is aight. And yeah, gameplay exactly how I remember playing going out of Disgaea 1 and 2. So, although for Disgaea 2 I did not beat the Axel mode. I didn't even start the Axel mode because I just feel like why bother, because my units level in Axel mode below 100 and the game starts at level 100, so I can't actually play Axel mode. But for Disgaea 4 I just went for, you know, the whole game normally, and then I just, you know, played the game and I just realized it's kind of fun. I just feel like Disgaea 4 is just a better game than Disgaea 5 is. And after playing the Disgaea 6 demo some time ago, I feel like I feel Disgaea 6 is probably going to look even weirder than, you know, playing Disgaea 4. So, as I'm going to say this, Disgaea 4 is probably my favorite Disgaea. I mean, there's not much more context to, you know, compare, because Disgaea 2 is pretty good too. And Disgaea 1, I played on the DS. I mean, that's how I got to this guy in the first place. Obviously, I was gonna like it, but like I just feel like Disgaea 4 pretty neat. Some of the music though I didn't like. Not gonna lie, I think I like Disgaea 1's music more, but that's just me. But yeah, I like Disgaea 4. It made me want to continue playing on Steam. So yeah. Neo 12. So this is the one game here that I actually did a stream Let's Play on, and right now the stream Let's Play of it is currently available. At this time on, you know, July 3rd, the first week of it is now all on YouTube. If you want to see the rest of it's on Twitch. But get ready for the rest of you know the game if you want to only watch it on YouTube later. But yeah. Although Neo 12 does feel kind of odd, especially the camera angles feel kind of odd compared to, you know, base 12. But then again, I'm just comparing it to 12 and DS. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna say right now, I do like all the characters. Again, all the characters good. The story is pretty neat. Like some of the surprises the game took, all the different references to old 12 and Final Fantasy in general. Like remember the beginning of the game, how they versus Final Fantasy 5 with the Nutkin on the game's equivalent to Pokemon Go. Yeah, I just feel like Neo 12 is a, you know, great, you know, I guess like great character interaction. So I feel like all the great character interactions and like the surprises it had, it's pretty cool. Like how, okay, spoilers, how we're supposed to expect that, you know, the character that everyone thought was Neku was Beat. Because like when I heard Beat's voice coming out of that, you know, character, I was like screaming Beat, and it was absolutely awesome. So yeah, glad to see every character again, and actually glad to see some of the resolutions that kind of done with Shiki specifically. They went with Shiki, with Rhyme, and even with Neku. So yeah, I really do like how Neo 12 kind of resolve some you know epilogue stuff, endings of base 12, and even had some like nice character interactions here with the new characters. So I really do like Neo 12. I did not get to 100% it, and I don't think I'm ever going to 100% it because I haven't played the game in a long time and it just stopped. Kind of stopped trying. So that means if I do go back to Neo 12 to 100% it, it's going to feel weird because the game has kind of weird controls, not going to lie. So I'm just saying right now, Neo 12 has weird controls. But then again, so it's base 12, so and it works with Twilight Final Remix. But the game is fun. I know like people like don't talk about it that much, and how like the hype for it just kind of died down kind of like way too quickly when the game came out. But then again, like nobody really markets it really well. But the game is amazing. I'll give you that one. And number one, oh yeah, I am going another Bravely Default game as a number one slot. Bravely Default 2. Okay, so this is kind of an early, 2021 game that I played. I kind of forgot most of it, kind of going into this video. Although I kind of finished it like halfway last year, so it's been like over a year since I last looked at Bravely Default 2. So my memories of it's going to be pretty hazy. But I do remember it taking up a lot of my time around the time of, when I played it. And like, I still like had a tendency to whenever I played Bravely Default, I always do this. I always have the main character be more defensive, be with the main healer, the main female being like main like physical, brawlers kind of unit. Made like the next male character a mage, and then the secondary female character the speedy one. I always do this, and this like still applies here. I made the main character, white mage, and this what do you call it, the shield master. I always made like those defensive ones. I made Glory at the final end of the game of Vanguard. I forgot what, I think it was Vanguard Monk, I think, I remember. And I put Elvis Black Mage and Adele Thief. I just feel like, I really do like that particular dynamic in general. But anyway, point is that I think I actually decided not to make a favorite characters of Bravely Default 2 video because like I don't know how am I going to rank everyone. Because I initially wanted to, right after making this, to make a favorite Bravely Default 2 characters list. First of all, I wasn't really making tops episodes during that time, but also, even if I did, how would I rank them? Because I just do like all these characters. There's like very few characters I just straight up didn't care for, or maybe if I look back at the game, maybe I'll find a character I like more than the others. But yeah, I do like a lot of the characters in this game. I like characters like make a lot of sense. I like the story, the gameplay. Obviously, it's amazing. Then again, like this is coming from someone who actually likes turn-based RPGs, who likes old Final Fantasy, who likes all the other Bravely Default games. So obviously, I'm gonna like this. But yeah, it's just really here because there's nothing I really hate about Bravely Default 2. It's just like there's just a lot of similarities to other Bravely Default games that's just kind of standard at this point, but that doesn't detract from the fact that Bravely Default 2 is my favorite game I played last year. So anyway, that is all for this tops. So I'm gonna say this right now before ending off that out of the games I played in 2022, I only have up to this point 3 games to mention: Legends Arceus, Master Duel, and Triangle Strategy. I'm gonna add Kirby there when I get to Kirby, but I've only played 3 new games in 2022, and we're past the halfway point of the year. So the question is, how many games will end up playing? How many new games will I end up playing in 2022? I don't know, because this is a lot of games I have not even played, let alone touched. So I want to see if I can get to it. But unfortunately, for me, or for anyone who cares, I'm still shiny hunting. And that is still taking a long time. So, will I ever play at like 6 games total this year? I don't know. But for right now, see you guys later for another top episode. Got quite a few things in mind, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do any of them. But we'll see when we get there.